And this is what the plaque looks like. That every single Toastmaster who has paid, can I see the Toastmasters who paid their dues? All those who paid their dues, wonderful. Because you see, it doesn't make sense to pay your dues and not get the benefit. What I say? I say it doesn't make sense to pay the money. It's like bearing the name and not playing the game. So if you're going to pay the money, that is the hardest part of being a Toastmaster. Right or right? Right. Right, of course. All right? So this here is what the Distinguished Toastmaster plaque looks like. And although this will look like any other Distinguished Toastmaster plaque, you've heard enough about my having done it in 1 year for me to make that the subject of a segment in my presentation this evening. Everybody has heard he did it in 1 year. And just let me clarify, because there's no need for me to gild the lily or to exaggerate. It cannot be done in 1 year, because when I did it in 1 year, we were unrestricted. Now that we're restricted, if you are very good, if you are very passionate, as you will see in a minute, you can do it in 2 years. But you can't do it in 1 year. You say, well, you took advantage of a loophole. Of course I did. Only a fool would not take advantage of a loophole. But as I will show you, I did not only exploit the loophole, I was the leading person who tried to plug that loophole. You're talking about passion? You're talking about doing the DTM in 1 year? Well, stop to think of what's involved in doing the DTM in 1 year. With all due respect to my club, I got the least cooperation from my club. Because, you know why? One, I still was not totally Jamaican. I suppose so. You know, I hear that every now and then. But I was too enough. I was really too enough. They heard about my insurance career, and they couldn't understand why would I want to come into this thing to set more record. And some people, not everyone, about 2 people, only 2, definitely tried to hold me back. Now, how do you hold back somebody who wants to become a DTM? It's very simple. Interclubbing is something that everybody knows about now. It wasn't known about then. Okay? And certainly, where interclubbing did, and here's the senior, not only district governor, but senior Toastmaster. I don't want to say that she grew up with me. I'm much, much older than she is. but we did, in fact, cross paths. One that, you know, she was about 40 years younger than I was, and so on. But understand that you got to do 40 speeches, right, Fitz? Yes. You got to do 40 speeches, and not just do 40 speeches. The evaluator has to say, I recommend that you move on to the next assignment. Good. So you got to do 40 speeches. Now, you do the math. 52 weeks in a year, you got to do 40 speeches. You got to prepare 40 speeches. And in the advanced manual, Fitz, let's see, and those of you who are, right? In the advanced manuals, it's a little bit harder than the basic. That makes sense? That makes sense? Advanced, a little bit harder than the basic. Yeah? Yeah, man, true. A little bit, not much, a little bit hard. Of course, you are maturing, but still it is more challenging. Let us use the word more challenging. So you have to do 40. And then you have to do some other stuff. You have to become a competent leader. You have to become the president of a club. How on earth do you become an officer when the very club don't want you to speak? They said to me, you must spend more time counting hours and being a timer. Toastmaster says that. And because of my passion, you don't hold me down very easily. Matter of fact, if you don't want me to go fast, don't touch me. If you touch me, I can change gear and go faster. So when they told me that Toastmaster says that I have to come as and be timer and not speak before I can qualify to speak, what did I do? What would you do? I picked up the telephone, called T.I. T.I. said, no such thing. What is your name, man? Bam Bam Bam. Her name was not Bam Bam Bam. Whatever her name was. And I went back to my president and says, T.I. says, Mrs. So-and-so says, not so. But nobody knows leader likes to be challenged, especially to come out at the losing end. So I had a problem. So what did I do? I went to Trailblazers. Any Trailblazers here? I went to Trailblazers. Because of my friend. I don't know how she became my friend, but she became my friend. Virus. I think she became my friend because I went to Trailblazers. And she accepted it. And then I heard that she was also at UCT. So guess what? My own club was not giving me opportunities to speak. Who cares? When you are fired with desire, nobody, nothing stands in the way. And when I say nothing, I mean nothing. That's what passion is all about. It's not shouting and ranting and raving, although that helps sometimes, I guess. But it's about that desire that will keep you going when all trying to make you stop. So I went to all the various clubs. Well, sorry, I went to Trailblazers, I went to UCT, but then you have to be an officer. And I was told for 1 year. But I wanted to do my DTM in 1 year. I said that I would do it. The mouth, eh? My big mouth. Something? Yeah, man. My big mouth said 1 year. And if the big mouth said 1 year, how long do you think I can afford to take? 1 year. Can't do. I put my foot in my mouth, in other words. Let me see the hands of all those who are afraid to put their foot in their mouth. That's okay, friend. That's okay. The rest are probably not being very honest. Yeah, most of us can't, especially if I were to. Leave that alone. But most of us don't do the foot in the mouth thing very well. But if you want to present with passion, and I'm not talking about, I should have said this at the very beginning. I apologize this week, Governor. Me not talk Toastmasters, you know. I'm sorry, man. This is a gas station, a petrol station. This is a pit stop. This is not life. You think this is life? You think Toastmasters is life? Get a life. If this is your life, you gotta get a life. This is a training ground. This is a pit stop where you refuel, recharge, revitalize, re-energize, and go. And it's in the going. That's life. So all I'm talking about is life. When I'm talking about presenting with passion, I mean at your workplace. I mean in order to get that promotion. I mean in order to become the very best that God is telling you to be. I mean in terms of exemplifying yourself in such a way that you are clearly better than the other person. You gotta earn it, man. The recession is not yet over. And it's the passionate that will survive. Yes, there'll be the detractors, but that's okay. So I had to find a way to become a club leader within the year. And I had a cold start. There was no run up to it. And it's like 2 years from now, I do it in 1 year. It was I did not go 1 year. How are you going to do it? Well, I was told you have to be a leader for 1 year. So I said, no, that can't be so. Why can't it be so? Tell me. It can't be so because I say it can't be so. See what I mean by being full of yourself? You couldn't be fuller than that. Fuller than that is bad. It's bad, bad, bad. And you know why I said so? Because if it was not so, it would not have fitted into my plans. So it had to be so. And so I went to TI. I love to go to TI. Oh, they're very friendly, by the way. They answer all my calls. I don't know if they do it. Probably I'm the only one calling. But they answer all my calls, and it's very, very pleasant environment. And I said, do I really have to be an officer for 1 year? Because if that was the case, I couldn't make it because time done gone already, not true? Yeah, plus I'm not lighting my club. Remember what God said to Moses? God said to Moses, what is in your hand? What Moses said? A rod. What was the significance of the rod? None. It had no significance. If you say I had a bottle in my hand, God would have used the bottle. If you say I had a duck, not a ducky, no, that's kind of too far. It didn't make a difference what he had in his hand. The important thing is, whatever he had in his hand, that's what God was prepared to use. So when T.I. said to me, there's only one way you can do it. You've got to find a club that meets every week. Nobody told me that. I just want to discover that. Because I was driven. A club that meets every week. Well, my club that meets every week. And then I drew a gear, went into overdrive, delved deep, deep, deep into my resources, and aha! I spent 2 years of my career being a guidance counselor. And one of those 2 years was spent at St. Andrew Technical High School. And St. Andrew torchbearers at the time met every week. So I went there, used my influence. Can I say that we build on what we have? Can I say that whatever you achieve is a stepping stone on which you will step to achieve something greater? Can I say that's how it is? So don't be afraid to use your assets. For verily, verily, I say unto thee, he that useth not his asset is a... I didn't say that. This is the Toastmasters meeting, man. I can't say those things. Can't we? He might be an asset without an asset, but you can't say anything else at the Toastmasters meeting. So I went to that, and it was just about half year, and I negotiated. What can I say? That DTM in 1 year is also about negotiation. It's about strategy, it's about negotiation, it's about everything. That's what passion is. It's getting everything in all. Well, needless to say, they allowed me to become something or the other. Vice President for Education for 6 months. And the VP didn't want to give it up. I said, hold on, Bob. I will help you to become a better speaker. I will coach you in all your speeches if you allow me to be VP for the second half of the year. And he agreed. If you ain't got nothing to bargain with, get something to bargain with. Okay? Get something to bargain with. And so that's how I met the requirements. But I want to show you a little aside of me that you would not know. While I was on my way to becoming a DTM in 1 year, I was totally, everybody say totally involved in the Toastmasters movement. I did not extract more than I put in. And philosophically, I'll never say that I put in more than I extracted. But I certainly put in a lot. I was so passionate. I bought, having a few dollars helps, I bought every single conceivable system that Toastmasters had. All of these. Successful Club Series, Better Speaking Series, all their posters. And you see, when it comes to the manuals, to the magazines, I was so upset that I just joined, that I went and I asked T.I. to mail me about 200 back issues. All right? Yes. That's what I did. All of these here. All of these. Different things. I see what's familiar with all of them. Anything that T.I. had. Some were free, most of them got to pay. I did it because what? I was passionate. You're talking about capitalizing on the fact that you were not in the street? Well, what I discovered, I'd almost forgotten this. I knew that I had led the charge for us to become districted. This is one of the, notice the big heads. But guess what this thing says? It says, getting rid of you. That's so catchy, right? I want to get rid of you, of course. You know what you is? Or you what? You was the first letter in unrestricted. So we were called unrestricted. And my passion was to get rid, so I did everything possible. And I did not remember. Oh, talking about that.